guys. Today I want to talk about intuitive eating. So if you have ever come across the term intuitive eating and have looked into it a little bit, it's based on a book. I should grab the book. I should grab that. Can I see it here? Yeah, I can. Okay, so it's based on a book called Intuitive Eating. And the idea behind this, and there's a lot to it, and there's a whole set of principles, and I don't want to downplay that book because it's a pretty amazing book. It's a pretty amazing concept when you think about it. But what I want to kind of talk about today is my troubles with intuitive eating. So as some of you know, I have been dieting for 30 plus years. I've always had a really interesting relationship when it comes to food. And so because of that, a concept like intuitive eating, which, and this is me giving a very, very brief synopsis, is the idea that you can eat whatever you want. Within some parameters, they talk a lot about hunger cues and hunger fullness, and they talk about this is not a weight control program. So the goal is not to lose weight. You might lose weight, but you may not. You may gain weight too. So this is not a program for somebody who's looking to lose weight. But when I finally realized that dieting wasn't going to work, so I had been dieting for 30 plus years. I have been on 15 plus diets. I have reached my goal weight at least 5 times. And I haven't been able to keep it off. And I had my moment when I began to realize that this had become really, pardon my language, but fucked up. I was putting weight loss as a value above every other value in my life. I was putting it above family. I was putting it above all the other life goals that I wanted to achieve. And I was doing this because in my head, I somehow thought that if I got my weight under control, all the other things will fall into place. So I finally realized that this wasn't the answer. And what I did was create my own health plan. So I created a list of meals that I like for lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And I began to eat in a way that I liked. So I picked foods I liked. I knew for me that it felt good to eat more than 3 times a day, so I was putting in some snacks. I was doing something that I felt was good for my body. And then I came across intuitive eating, and I realized that the health plan that I had created was awesome. For me, it was great. But what I needed to be doing is starting to learn to step away from that meal plan. And the way to do that is by using some of the tools in intuitive eating. So I have been taking my meal plan and using it because, like I said, we all have to eat. I am a planner. I am a type A personality planner. So for me, it's so much easier to have some type of plan to make sure I know what I'm going to be eating for those meals for grocery shopping purposes. But what I do is every time I go to make a meal, so it's on my plan, I am supposed to have whatever it is, peanut butter and jam sandwich for lunch. Every time I go into the kitchen and I'm about to make that meal, I stop and say, do I feel like this meal? And if I would rather have a grilled cheese sandwich or leftovers from the night before, that's what I have. I have begun to tune in to my hunger and full cues. Now, 30 plus years of dieting means that I don't understand my hunger cues very well. And this is the really difficult part of intuitive eating because I have such a struggle realizing where that tipping point is. For instance, last night, on my plan was an ice cream sandwich. So I ate my ice cream sandwich that night because that's what I felt like. Then about an hour goes by and my boyfriend says, hey, I'm going to go to Dairy Queen. I really want a Blizzard. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. This is the struggle. I don't know. Does my body want one? Am I overthinking it too much? Is it my brain that goes, well, if you don't get one now, you can't have one later because he's not going to go later. He's going now. Oh, man. So in my head, I went, okay, I'm going to take the opportunity. So I took the Blizzard and it comes back. And I start eating it. And it tastes so good. I'm not very slow with eating it. I'm really liking the score bits. Next thing you know, I'm at the end of it and I'm so full, it hurts. And I'm like, what did I do? I couldn't get that to work. So what does this mean? I mean, for me in particular, it's like, I think of this in a similar way maybe that I've thought of every other diet that I've ever been on is, what else are you going to do? So you really have two options. And this is the way I look at dieting too. You are faced with a dieting trigger, whatever that trigger may be. It could be you see a picture of yourself and you really hate it. You step onto the scale and you see a number you didn't think you'd ever see. You are in a conversation with a friend and she makes a comment about your weight. Holy shit. That's when the negative self-talk begins. And when that negative self-talk begins, you have two options. You can either diet in order to get yourself down to a lower weight so that you feel that that dieting trigger next time it comes up will be more acceptable to you. Or you can not diet. With intuitive eating, I feel like I'm at the same point. So I ate the Blizzard. I felt fuller than, well, to the point where it hurt. I have two choices. I can either stop this intuitive eating nonsense and go back to dieting, or I can say, okay, that's what happened this time. What did I learn? That I need to slow down a little and do it again. 30 plus years of dieting is not going to go away in a year. It's just not. As much as I want it to, it's not. I'm going to have setbacks. And I think that intuitive eating can be really difficult because it's so counterintuitive to our lives. It's not counterintuitive to our bodies. Our bodies get it. Our bodies will give us signals. But we're in such a fast-paced world and environment, we're in such a zoning out space and environment that it's really easy for us to miss those cues. So I guess what I'm saying is this. I have a plan. I have a health plan. I am a type A personality and that works for me. But I am using intuitive eating principles in order to try to let that health plan go because I really feel that in order to live my life fully, I need to be able to eat like a normal person. And a normal person, in most cases, most people don't have extremely detailed plans that include calories, proteins. They just don't. Most people go about their days and go, oh, I'm hungry. What do I feel like eating? And they eat that. So I've seen some value in doing that. And I just made this little video because I struggle with intuitive eating. I feel it's a really amazing program. I feel it's a really amazing way to live your life. But I also struggle. And if you struggle too, you're not alone. Check out my website if you liked this video or if any of this made sense to you. My website is iwishiwereme.com. iwishiwereme.com. And my name is Jennifer, and I would be happy to connect with you.